Welcome back to Exquisitely Aligned. You may be on your path to having it all, the house, family, money, and travel, when suddenly something shatters your ideal world. It shifts your perspective. You're grateful for all that you have and all that you've accomplished, yet you realize or decide having it all isn't all that. It may leave you feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, or maybe even unfulfilled. You're left wanting something more fulfilling. But you can't quite put it into words. Others, they just don't get it. They try to pacify you. I get it. I've stood in your shoes. Hello, I'm Gina, your life artist. Today we'll be discussing the art of creating beauty with and through your conversations. I know I'm laughing inside because here I sit, and it's a bit ironic. We're discussing conversations on a podcast and YouTube where it's single-sided. Unless I piss you off enough or have you fall in love with me, so to speak, to get you to a point where you want to email me or chat with me. Otherwise, it's really not a conversation. But I'll try my best anyway to help you through the art of conversation and shine a light on how beautifully this can enhance your life so that you can live a deeper, more meaningful, and richer experience. So, conversations. Humans are social creatures. We certainly are. We've known this for centuries. But our modern lifestyle and our relationship with technology have removed us from our true nature, hasn't it? Conversations have become quick text with emojis and acronyms. Not to worry though, it's easy to change and very powerful when we do. Getting to know people on a deeper level and allowing them to know us at the same depth, it's profound. It creates a bond that brings forth a sense of belonging, safety, and understanding. It allows both us and others to express ourselves and feel heard. This allows us to be able to express ourselves from deep within, our core truths and our desires. And when that happens, we feel alive. We appear in the world even more brilliantly. This is important because studies have shown we touch as many as 10,000 lives during our lifetime. Our energy, our way of being, thinking, moving, perceiving, and putting ourselves out into the world creates this vibration that has a rippling effect which over time reaches thousands of people. Think about the saying, when mama ain't happy, nobody is happy. Are you chuckling? We know it's true, don't we? If a simple smile can change a stranger's day, imagine what a conversation with a loved one, a friend, or a new friend could do. Let me share an experience I had. I've been a tea drinker or a tea toddler since I was a teenager. And while in Marrakesh, Morocco, I was impressed with their passion for tea. You see, in this hotel at 3 o'clock every afternoon, they served mint tea throughout the hotel, like open spaces. The weather was full sun and dry heat. Although hot, the mint tea was quite refreshing. The teapots were silver and the cups were like little Mexican tequila cups. Not only was their design interesting, but so was the way the gentlemen would pour the tea. They would stand tall, lift the teapot high up in the air, and start pouring the tea till your glass was full. Traditionally, I learned that in Moroccan homes, it is the honor of the eldest male to serve everyone. The fancy teapot, along with the beautiful glasses, the beautiful silver platter that held everything together, it was quite impressive. It made me feel extra special, kind of like royalty. I felt exquisite. And you know I love that feeling. This tea ceremony was a reason for us to come together and connect socially. I have such fond memories of the camaraderie of sipping tea with other hotel guests. Drink tea, taste sweet delights, and drum up conversation amongst what would have otherwise been strangers. Humans, we really are social creatures. It only seems natural for this exchange over a spot of mint tea to take place. I adore wine shops and coffee shops for that coming together of society that it brings. Sometimes life becomes so busy and takes on a life of its own, leaving us with no free time. And we already discussed that last week. Time is one of your 3 precious resources. Making time or scheduling time for what truly matters to you. What you want even more of, and then getting rid of what you don't. Instead of letting our career or our schedules get the best of our days, isn't today a great day to invite a friend to socialize over a cup of tea or maybe a glass of wine? Communication opens doorways to connection. And as social creatures, we desire connection. We need it. It's only natural. It's a natural remedy to living healthily. Are you familiar with Dr. Albert Mehrabian's 7-38-55 rule? He found that during our conversations, only 7% of what people remember is our spoken word. 38% our voice or tone, and 55% body language. Amazing, right? 7% spoken word, the smallest percentage of what we take away from a conversation is what is actually said. Isn't that interesting? Please understand, what you say and put out into the world is still very important because it creates an energetic vibe. It can lift someone up or take someone down. 38% is voice or tone, speed and timing, all fall into this second most impactful category. If someone is speaking too quickly, they might be sending out the message, I don't have time for you. Or, this really isn't important. Texting elevates this altogether and can create misunderstandings. I've seen it happen. Be careful to match the voice and tone to your message, as well as your emotions and intention. Okay, body language, 55%. Over half of what you say is conveyed through your body language. Simply amazing, right? This encompasses everything from our posture to how we hold our head and our hands. You know me, I like to talk with my hands. The movement made with our eyes, our eyebrows, our lips, and the distance between us and who we're communicating with, right? If we're really close or if we're too far back. Here's where we truly want to make sure we're sending the same message as our spoken word to ensure that we're getting our point across appropriately. So let's take texting for a moment. There's no voice and no body language. We're relying on 7% of spoken word, and it's not really spoken. And sometimes it's not really words. It's acronyms, emojis. Sure, texting comes in handy at times, right? To send a quick message, I'm running late, or the key is under the mat, whatever you need to tell somebody. But we're lacking that emotion of feeling connected. As a highly social creature, I'm not fond of texting. I'd much rather someone pick up the phone or invite me to a video call. I feel like conversations have become a lost art. And you know, I adore art. Art is the creative expression of the artist. Art is beautiful. And of course, you know what I'm going to say next. Beauty is superfuel. So how can we continue to support the art of conversations? Well, that's exactly what I wish to discuss with you today. Because it's something that will enhance our lives. Enhance our life by creating more depth in our relationships, by allowing us to have even more fulfilling conversations. Less about the small stuff, unimportant stuff, like kind of like the weather. I call it idle chit-chat, or worse, gossip. We're not in high school anymore, are we? I think you get the drift, right? Have you ever left a party or a work event or maybe even a holiday family gathering and felt empty, unmotivated, or like you just gave up 4 hours of your precious day and want to redo? I certainly have. The conversations were unfulfilling for me. I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything new about anyone. It was not fun. I was bored off my butt. I don't like idle chit chat. Or maybe there was someone with an agenda, right? Have you ever been in that situation where they're plowing full speed ahead, trying to impress their opinions on everyone there? That's not enjoyable either. I've witnessed that a time or two as well. That typically happens when someone is enforcing their truths on others, and it makes us feel like we need to brush the energy off our arms, or sometimes for me, I have to run home and hop in the shower, wash it off. So those two ends of the spectrum, right? With lots of types of conversations falling somewhere in between, none of which feel fulfilling. Now, take a moment and think of a time when you came home from a party, a work event, or a holiday family gathering and felt fulfilled with joy, nourished from the standpoint of connecting with someone or a group on a deeper, more meaningful level. What a different feeling, right? I feel like the edges of your lips are rising. It's an entirely different experience. It makes you want even more time with them. You've learned something about them and have even more questions maybe. And you can't wait to support them on their journey through life. And typically the feeling is mutual between both of you. There's this energetically positive exchange. Yes, I said it again. I think it's the first time in this episode, but multiple times over the past few weeks, right? In this mini series of the art of creating beauty. Beauty brings about a positive, uplifting, enriching, nourishing. You pick the word that suits you. Beauty brings about a positive, energetic exchange. There's this reciprocal reaction between both parties. You're hanging off the edge of your seat, and so is the other person, right? And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, not at all. It can just be two people connecting, or maybe a group of people, and they're connecting in a deeper, richer, and even more meaningful way or level. You see, that's when two or more people are becoming aligned. And that's when they're allowing an exquisite conversation to connect them even more deeply. That's when they are being vulnerable, allowing another person to see them transparently, all their parts, the comfortable and the uncomfortable. Because I don't know about you, but my life has been anything but perfect. My life has been imperfect and still is. But here I am showing up with all my imperfections anyway, and showing up every day, no matter what, because I know I have a purpose, a mission, and I'm fulfilling that calling here with you right now and working one-on-one with people when I'm not here with you. And those people, they're now thriving despite having been through something heavy and dark. And they're at a point where they usually realize they are ready to experience and live life differently, even with their imperfect life, their imperfections. Talk about being vulnerable. My kids tell me, hey, Mom, you're too transparent. But I happen to think that's one of my assets. I'm 53 now. I've earned all my bumps and bruises. I'm not embarrassed by them. My kids are, but I'm not. You see, I lived an imperfect life intimately, over and over again. And that's what I've been called to share. Share my mistakes, share my experiences. It's the reason I can empathize with you so quickly, so easily, and so effortlessly. I've stood in shoes that felt similar to yours. I really have, probably more than once. So I'm proud of my imperfections. I share them bravely. I understand that some will be turned off by them, sure, and others will want to take me home. I've had someone tell me that recently, and that's a good thing because I'm not here for everyone. I can't be. There is not enough time in the day. I believe that when we realize we don't have to please everyone, we don't have to be friends with everyone, we don't have to socialize with everyone, that's when we find it easier to be vulnerable in our conversations, to be transparent, to open up and share things with people you feel comfortable with, where you can express yourself clearly, transparently, no holds bar. And I'm not asking you to do this with everyone you come into contact with. No, I'm asking for you to find a person or two or three, however many, 5, where you are able to go deep. Share your truths, the ones that are written on your soul, the ones that I believe only you can know. And share your desires, the ones that cause your heart to beat even faster. And be vulnerable and see and allow the experience to unfold. Let the magic into your conversations. Discuss things that really matter to you and to the other person. No more idle chit-chat. And notice how you feel. Notice what begins to happen in your relationships. Notice the level of connection you each experience. And let me say, I'm not just talking about your relationships with people your age. I'm talking about every age. You'd be amazed at what you'll learn from younger generations. I know you might be scratching your head, but it's fun. What they believe, how they feel about certain things. It's really exciting to get to know them and how they think. They think differently than us. I've worked with kids years ago, school age kids from about 8 years old to about 14, both boys and girls. This is outside of my own 2 kids, right? I was teaching them paddleboard yoga at the time, and I loved it, and so did they. I always started the class or the experience with getting to know them a bit. I always asked them to tell us something more than just their name. I wanted to know what made them tick. Sometimes I would say, what would you be doing if you didn't have homework, schoolwork, or chores? Sometimes it would be, if you could be anything when you grew up, what would you be and why? Or If I gave you $1 million right now, what would you do? Their faces always lit up. And you could feel their big hearts being expressed in their answers. They dream of jobs that help humanity, help the environment, help the animals, making our world a better place. They really do. They dream bigger than us adults. They are free from restraints. There are no limits for these children. They don't care about what others would say or think or believe. They don't believe in shortcomings. They see only huge possibilities. They become overly excited to share openly their desires, their heartfelt desires, to a complete stranger like myself. Because honestly, when was the last time any adult asked them what they dream about? We both know there's no time built into the school day to do that. So it's probably not happening with their teachers. Their parents, they both may work and most likely have a busy schedule. So the likelihood of it happening at home is probably maybe less than 10%. If even that. It's happened in our house. We have 2 children, one still at home. We get dinner on the table and the discussion becomes about what they've done, like their homework, their exams, where we have to drive them next, not what they desire to do. Does that ring true for you in your home, maybe in your childhood, or possibly in your current family? Now, I purposely use kiddos as an example because we adults love kids. We too have big hearts for them. We only want the best for them. We are willing to sacrifice for them, aren't we? So it's typically easy and natural for us to relate to me talking about kids. But now the truth, I want to talk about the child inside of you. The child inside you that yearns for someone to ask, what are your aspirations? How may I help you get there? Those are the conversations I'm talking about. Where people take or make the time to really get to understand you. Yes, there it is again, the word time, 4-letter word. One of the 3 precious resources we spoke about last week. What if we gave our loved ones and friends time in our day to have such conversations? What a difference we could make in someone's day and in their life. Be it their mental health, feeling as if they're seen, feeling understood. Be it their dreams, maybe, helping them achieve their next step towards their dreams. Either way, making the world an even better place. Remember 10,000 people we influence over our lifetime? So let's discuss that a little more. Let me share 5 positive and healthy benefits of the art of conversation. Real conversations, deep conversations, not the idle chit-chat about the weather. Okay. Number 1, feel connected. Number 2, spark ideas. Number 3, express your emotions. Number 4, supercharge your energy. And number 5, improve your mood. Let's go through each one a little more slowly. Feeling connected. Many people feel alone. It happens for different reasons. I felt it. It could be as easy as feeling misunderstood. That can leave us feeling alone. Maybe we worked our way to the top in our career, become so successful, and now realize we're alone at the top. Possibly we've become so wrapped up in the day-to-day mundane tasks that we are now overscheduled, run ragged, and have no time for anything more than a brief hello. You feel how lonely each of those situations can be? Disconnected, right? Disconnected from others, disconnected maybe from ourselves. There's no time because we no longer are participating in deep, positive exchanges or conversations. Hearing a like-minded, friendly voice is like music to our ears, isn't it? A feeling of connectedness takes over and gently warms and fills our heart. Humans, we truly are social creatures. We crave that bond that forms when connecting through conversation. There is a definite shift happening in the world. I think you feel it. People are searching for even more meaning in their life. And for this, I am grateful, super grateful. Number 2, spark ideas. The scales are moving away from learning and growing as we are educated people. Let's face it, you're an adult. You don't need to grow, but rather transform or transcend with your life experiences or your conversations, or both. When you share from your heart and another person reciprocates, it takes you both on a journey of self-discovery, getting to know them and transforming, bringing forth existing new ways of being for both of you. Exciting new ways. They may already have existed, I don't know. And that's powerful. Remember we spoke about creativity in Daydreaming episode. Creativity is powerful. The art of creating is what we do. It's how we experience life blissfully. If we're not creating, we begin to feel as if we're wilting, or at least that's the word I would pick for myself to describe it. I don't know how you would. In my one-on-one work, I help people create and surround themselves with beauty because beauty is superfuel. So sparking new ideas is advantageous, highly advantageous. Number 3, express your emotions. Allowing ourselves to express how we truly feel can be overwhelming at first, but far outweighs the benefits. This is a great way to release stress and tension from the body, the mind, and the soul. This will keep all areas open so you can receive and appreciate joy. It also allows us to feel understood, which typically leads to a feeling of being accepted. And you probably remember us discussing acceptance and belonging in earlier episodes. Belonging is something we crave as humans. It goes back to the concept of tribes or clans. We feel safe and protected when we belong. We are being able to express our emotions, allowing us to feel accepted, is another way of supporting us on our journey in life. Number 4, supercharge your energy. Now this one, it's priceless. This happens in 2 different ways. Taking the emotional benefits a bit deeper, think about massage, maybe acupuncture, any kind of energy work. All those modalities keep the energy flowing through the body. When there is a blockage, energy cannot flow, which makes us feel tired, maybe cranky. And connecting and sharing intimately can keep the negative energy from being blocked and entering into the body. And when you partake in a deeper and more meaningful conversation, you feel energized. You feel like you can talk for days. I know I had this happen recently with a beautiful woman I had just met at a conference. It didn't matter how long We were standing there on the hot, hot concrete in the extreme heat in Arizona. We both felt energized. So many people walk around exhausted. Some look like zombies. Maybe what they need is to schedule time for a great conversation and a cup of mint tea. Okay, number 5. What I like to think about or call mood magic. Moods can drop based on things like lack of sleep, poor diet, stress, stagnation, lack of sunshine even. Schedule time to meet up with a BFF and let a deep, rich conversation get you out of that slump or help them out of their slump. Have I won you back over to enjoying more of the lost art of conversations? I sure hope so. But maybe you're not like me. Maybe you're sitting there wondering, how do I do this? I realize not everyone has the gift of connecting through conversations with strangers, friends, and loved ones. Me, I can speak to a stray dog for an hour. So let me share a little secret with you. It's not difficult. There's really no wrong or right. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. There's a little rule that will help you to keep you more on the right side, okay? Because I said there's no wrong or right, but to keep it more right, I would encourage you to ask open-ended questions. Ask, what are you daydreaming about? And if they aren't daydreaming or dreaming or desiring anything, help them. Maybe you tell them about the episode about daydreaming and what you learned. If you have a difficult time trying to come up with things to talk about, I have a little something special for you because I know this is not an easy thing. I came up with something that a teacher is now using in her 3rd grade class to spark them with speaking their emotions as 3rd graders. Something an aunt uses with her niece to inspire thoughtful conversations. Something a retreat owner gifts to every woman who attends a retreat. Something a friend is sharing with 100 of her employees as a gift. It's the opening to possibilities cards. Each deck has 42 unique cards for you. They're beautifully designed. Each one has a different flower on them. And you can play with them. You can use them to ask each other questions. You'll find 42 statements, and under each statement, there'll be 3 questions that go along with the statement. They were created to inspire thought-provoking conversations between you and anyone you feel important enough to share them with. And you can use them alone. You can journal with them, journal prompts, or use them as a meditation and let your possibilities unfold. So if you want to experience some new, free-flowing, deeper conversations, simply go to exquisitelyaligned.com and click on the tab for the Opening to Possibilities cards. Or drop me an email at gina@exquisitelyaligned.com and let me know you're interested. Remember, as humans, we're social creatures. We desire to belong and feel connected. So leave the small talk behind. Enhance your life by creating beauty with the art of conversation. You'll connect on a deeper level, spark new ideas, feel energized, which for me is priceless, and bring in even more of what you desire and deserve. A more meaningful life. Until next time, use the art of conversation to open up your possibilities and be exquisite.